Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, guys, so we are back with this live stream. And before we start our live stream, I would like to say sorry because yesterday I also did this live stream, but because my keyboard was not working properly, so that's why I have ended that live stream because it was very problematic to work with this, and the kind of things I wanted to teach was little bit complex. So that's why I have cancelled that. So extremely sorry. Forgive me for that. And today I have replaced my keyboard. I hope it's going to work properly because I also don't know whether it's really a keyboard issue or something wrong with my system or something wrong with this live stream. Okay. So as we have discussed yesterday, if you don't know what happened yesterday, I have decided to create four animations. Basically, these are some animations which I have learned, or you can say experimented on After Effects, and got these techniques that we are going to discuss. Okay, but before that, make sure to hit that like button for this live stream, and also don't forget to subscribe this channel. Okay, and you can join my Motion Pro membership as well. It will be a support for my channel, and you'll get some extra After Effect tutorial project files over there and some interesting courses as well. Okay, so before we start our live stream, let me tell you what we are going to create. So as you guys can see over here, I have already created this four compositions over here like that. Let me check it out whether this working properly or not. Okay, if it's not going to work properly, I end this live stream today only. Okay, okay, it's working properly. Okay, let's take this. Now here we are, what we are going to create in this live stream. Okay, so first animation we are going to do is this one. I'll play this. We will try to create this animation, which is very simple. And if you're watching my tutorials, you already know how to do it. But if you don't know, then we will try to revise this over here. Let me move this camera a little bit towards here. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is the first animation that we are going to do. The second animation we are going to do is this one, and this is my favorite one because it's quite interesting. Okay, and as you guys can see, this animation is in the form of loop. Okay, then third animation is going to be this one. This is kind of a text reveal animations that we are going to do. Okay, and after that we are going to do this one, which is going to be the last one, and this is also very interesting animation. If you guys don't know, that this is CC split effect that we are going to use, and this animation is also very interesting. Okay, so buckle up guys and grab something to eat because this is going to be a long live stream. If it's not, then let's see what will happen. I'll grab some water to drink, so let's wait for a few seconds. Okay guys, so we are back, and now without wasting any much more time, let's start our today's live stream. I'm very excited because after a long time I'm going to do it, and my keyboard hopefully finally going to work. Okay, so let's start with our first animation, which is going to be this one. Okay, so first thing first, we need to create one pattern. I'll close this compositions, all others, and I'll save this file. Don't forget to hit Control S anytime. If you are not doing anything, still press Control S. Okay, then let's hide this one. Now, first thing first, we need to create one pattern for this text. So first thing we need is text strip. If let me know whether you can hear my voice or not. Let me check. Don't forget to hit Control S. Okay, you can hear my voice. Okay, so I'm going to press Control N to create another composition, and I'm going to call it as text strip, and I'll hit OK just for now. And height, I am over here going to choose 200 just for now and hit enter. And now I'm going to type my text. For the text, I'm going to type, let's say, motion. Okay, let's select this text, press Control Alt Home to bring this anchor point over here. Let's enable our toggle mask and shape path visibility and press Control Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. Go to the Align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically. Also, one thing, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section. Okay, I'll create this kind of text. Okay, go to the character and over here font I chose this Cool Vetica. Okay, regular version. If you want, you can choose different font as well. Now over here the composition width is quite big, so I'm going to press Ctrl K and I'll reduce the width a little bit until unless I'm gonna get proper thing. Okay, so let's reduce this width. I think this much width is good, so I'll hit OK like that. Okay, then I'm going to press Ctrl Y to create one solid background and I'm going to bring this layer downwards. So this is my text strip. I'll go to my main comp, which is comp 1, and I'm going to bring my text strip over here like that. And now I'm going to select this and I'm going to go in my effect and presets panel and I'm going to search for CC Reptile effect. And let's double click to apply this. Now, if you see the reference layer over here, uh, in this one we have one text and there is the repetition of this. Okay, so with the help of CC Reptile we will try to create that pattern. So I want to expand it on right over here like this. Also I want to expand it on left like that. Okay, similarly I can expand it downwards, I can expand it upwards like that. But in the reference over here, our pattern is quite different. So what I can do, I can select this and over here there is one option called tiling. Right now it's on repeat, but if you enable this other options, you will get so many different stuff. Okay, as you guys can see, when I change this, the pattern is changing. If I choose this one, we'll get this one. If I choose random, I'll get this one. Now, if you see over here in our reference, it's like a brick. Okay, so from name itself I'm going to choose this brick, and as you guys can see now they are alteredly adjusted. Okay, now despite there is a white background over here, I'm going to choose the white background on this composition as well. So I'm going to press Ctrl Y again to bring one solid background, and let's bring this over here. Now, if you think that these things are quite, close to each other or they are very long, all you need to do is simply go to your text strip and simply hit Ctrl K to open the project settings, and you can adjust the width as well as height according to your needs. Not too much, like right now it's gone. Okay, if you choose something like that, as you guys can see, same changes you're gonna see over here. Okay, but I don't want that, I'm happy with this one. Now I'm going to select both of these layers and I'm going to press Ctrl Shift C to pre-compose, and I'm going to call it as main text layer and I'll hit OK. Now I'm going to hit Ctrl D, duplicate this layer, and now I'm going to select this first layer, which is the first comp main text layer. I'll hit enter and I'm going to name this call as sphere and hit enter. Now from name itself, so we know that this layer is going to act like a sphere. So now we are going to apply one effect called CC sphere effect. Let me bring my mic a little bit over here. Okay, this looks good. Now apply CC sphere effect and double click to apply. Then As you guys can see, we will get this kind of sphere. Now over here there is one problem, that the light is not quite good looking, as well as the radius is also very small. So I'm going to increase the radius of this layer a little bit until it's going to proper cover some area. Similarly, light over here. Now most of the time when you use CC sphere, what people do is that increase the light intensity. But by increasing the light intensity, what will happen, if you see over here, they are increasing the quality of light, or you can say strength of light. We don't need to do that. Our focus is to reduce this darkness over here. So to reduce this darkness, you don't need to increase the light intensity, but you need to adjust the shading. Now I'm going to choose light intensity only 100, but if I increase this ambient amount, and if I decrease this diffuse amount, as you guys can see, this darkness is getting reduced. Now let's reduce this diffuse completely, and if you increase this ambient, as you guys can see, now there is no 3D structure like that, but there is no darkness as well. So let's do one thing. I'm going to increase this ambient to 100. Now as you guys can see, there is no what you can say depth in our sphere, but what we can do, if I increase this diffuse amount a little bit, okay, like something up to 95, and if I reduce this ambient a little bit, and I'm going to reduce this diffuse to 40, as you guys can see, I'll get that subtle depth over here. Okay, not completely less or not completely high. Okay, and now I can go to the rotation properties and I can rotate it on y-axis. So let's make this value 0, and I'm going to create one keyframe at y, not over here but at the start. So let's go at the start and create one keyframe on rotation y, then press P for position, create one keyframe and hit U. Okay, then after that, from let's bring this totally over here like that. Okay, then go to around 4 seconds. I'm going to bring this totally over here. Okay, you can move this from here to here. Make sure to enable this toggle mask check visibility and try to move this over here like that. Okay, then we need to rotate it on minus rotation. So let's go over here. Now if you see over here, there are 4 rotations, so let's try -4, not 4 rotation but 4 second. Let's see how does it looks if I choose 4 rotation. I think it looks very weird. So let's choose 2, I mean -2, and let's see how this is gonna look. Okay, and if I choose -1 maybe, let's see how does it looks. Okay, it looks good to me. I think -1 looks good. Okay, now if you see our reference animation layer, there is one stuff that there is a creation of this effect. So for that, what you can do over here is that I want to create something like that. I think we need to choose -2 rotation only, because that looks weird. One rotation is very small. Okay, I'll keep that. And in this animation, like which I have shown over here, I did one mistake. Like for example, if you see over here, it should be in a black color only. So I'm not going to repeat that mistake over here. I'm going to select this, and I'm going to go in my effect and presets panel, and I'm going to search for tint effect, and let's swap this color. Okay, so we are gonna get something like that. Okay, like this. Okay, but it looks quite dark. If you don't want that, you can keep it as it is. I'm going to, let's delete this. I can keep it as it is like that. Or instead of that, you can apply tint effect, but instead of this white color, you can choose this kind of red color, and instead of black, you can choose this kind of white color. Okay, that is also one thing you can do. Similarly, you can swap this color like that, so you'll get this kind of results. Okay, so now I'm going to stick with this one, but instead of this red color, I'll choose something like that, because that looks quite good. Now we need to create one adjustment layer. So right click, new, and create one adjustment layer and apply tint effect on it. And now let's hide this, and let's select this and go to the color options, and with the help of this picker, I'm going to pick up this color. Okay, and let's enable this adjustment layer, and let's try to bring after this pair. like that. Now this color is very light, so let's choose a little bit darker version. Okay, now let's if you see over here, this is covering the entire portion. We don't want that, so I'll press S and I'll unlink this, and I'm going to adjust the scale till it's going to touch the uh, this circle area. Okay, like that. If you are not seeing this, simply swap this color so it would be easy for you. And let's make this value up to 50. Okay, 50 value looks good to me. It's covering the area, but let's try to choose 52 as well. Okay, and I want this one should move with this circle. So now what you can do, hit U, let's go to the start, select this adjustment layer, press P, and let's try to move this over here. Okay, now this pair is over here, then obviously this adjustment layer should be somewhere around over here. So create one keyframe on position, go over here, and let's try to bring this somewhere over here, or you can go to the align tab and choose align horizontally, and let's make this fit. Okay, so now if you see this, we will get something like that. But if you can see, it's not moving properly. So you can select this last keyframe and you can bring this a little bit over here like that. Okay, so now if you check it out, this animation, we will get something like this. Okay, and now what I want is that there should be a duplicate of this entire stuff. So I'm going to select these two layers and I'll hit Control D to duplicate it, and I'm going to bring them at the top. Okay, now instead of going from here, I want it should go from like something like that. So to do that, I don't need to change the animation or keyframes of this one, but I'll simply right click new and create one null object. I'm going to select both of these layers and I'll make it a parent with this null. Then I'll select this null, I'll press R for rotation, and I'm going to rotate it like that. Okay, over here. Now hit U so you can see, and let's move this over here. And we have to make sure that this one should be gone out of this one. Okay, so now as you guys can see, the scale is not matching properly for this one. So let's try to animate that. Now we need to focus on this and this layer only. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to press F4 and I'm going to select these layers and I'll make this shy, and I'm going to enable this hide all shy layers because I don't want to focus on that. Similarly, enable shy for this one as well. Now I'm going to enable this shy for this one, so we can only see this layers. Now let's hit U so we can see the keyframes. Now as you guys can see, now from this one it looks good to me, but over here this animation looks half, like as you guys can see over here. So I'm going to select this adjustment layer and now press S, and we need to increase the scale on this axis like that. So now let's see whether we are getting it properly or not. Still not, because if you see, it's going a little bit forward. So hit U, select this last keyframe and try to bring this a little bit backward up to this one. Okay, and now let's see this animation. It's working properly, but still over here we are getting that effect. So let's try to bring this a little bit closer up to this one. Okay, and now let's try to see, still we are getting like that. So let's bring this starting keyframe somewhere around at this point. Okay, like that. Basically we need to adjust the keyframes only. Okay, so now as you guys can see, we have this kind of animation. Now let's disable this hide all shy layers and hit U. Now I'm going to select these two layers over here and I want them should start to get animated somewhere around at this point over here. And now I'm going to select this shape layer, this pair, and I'll swap these colors. Similarly, I'm going to select this layer and I'll swap this color like that. Okay, but over here we will get some weird stuff, so let's keep it as it is over here like that. Okay, so we'll get something like this. Now after this, I want all of them should be gone, so let's make this fit. And I'm going to select my this main text layer, which is this one. I'll hit Control D to duplicate, and I'm going to bring this at the top. And somewhere around at this point, I'm going to go in my effect and presets panel, and I'm going to search for linear wipe effect. So apply this linear wipe effect. Now what linear wipe effect does is it will create that wipe animation. So hit U, select that keyframe, and I'm going to hit F9 over here. And let's save this file over here. So we'll get this wipeout animation. You can increase the size of this animation like that. You can select this keyframe. You can go to the graph editor, select this graph by holding shift, move one handle over here and move one handle over here. Okay, so now if you see this animation, we will get this animation first, then we will get this animation, and then we will get this wipeout animation. Now after this wipeout animation is done, I'm going to press N over here, and now if you see, we will get that animation in the form of loop. Okay, like that. Okay, so let me know in the comment section whether you like this animation or not. Okay, also don't forget to hit that like button because I'm taking a lot of efforts for this. Okay, now our first animation is ready. Okay, now let's check it out our reference over here. We have this kind of stuff like that, and we have created something like this. But in the reference animation there is some kind of a depth over here. So for that, what you can do, simply go to the main text layers, go to this text strip, select this text, right click, go to the layer styles and choose bevel and emboss, and go to the bevel and emboss, increase the softness totally, and now if you see over here, we are getting that portion over here like that. Now there is another thing in our reference animation is this drop shadow, which creates more realism to our animation. So for that, I'm going to select this pair. I'll go to the effect and presets panel, and I'm going to search for drop shadow effect, and let's double click to apply. And now let's increase the softness totally up to, let's say, 200, as well as distance. I'm going to move this over here, as well as change the direction somewhere around at this point. Okay, so let's see, we will get this animation like that. Okay, so let's go to the start, and let's do one thing. We will increase the distance a little bit like that over here, so we'll get properly. And then somewhere around at this point, I'm going to create one keyframe at opacity and hit U, then go to the last keyframe and let's make this value 0 to remove that opacity over here. Okay, I don't want that for too long. Similarly, I'm going to select this. I'll select this drop shadow effect and hit Ctrl C. Then select this pair, hit I to go at the start, and simply hit Ctrl V over there and hit U. So I'm gonna get that drop shadow for this one as well. But as you guys can see over here, there is one problem. So let's remove this drop shadow from here. Hit U. Let's see whether this pair is this or not. Yeah, this one. Let's apply drop shadow from here because it's not working for this one. So let's increase the distance, also increase the softness to 200 like that. Let's increase the distance a little bit, also change the direction of this one. Okay, and go to the start, create one keyframe at opacity, hit U, go somewhere around at this point, create one keyframe at opacity, go over here and let's make this opacity value 0. Okay, so now if you check it out, this animation, we will get something like that. Okay, so as you guys can see how cool this animation looks. Let's save this file, and now we will jump to our next animation. Okay, now let's hit Ctrl 0 to open our project window, and let's open our comp 2. Okay, like that. Now if you see in this animation, we will need to create something like that. Okay, but before this, I want you to hit like button on that video so I'll get more reach. Also don't forget to support this channel through our membership Motion Pro. I have already uploaded so many members only videos over there, some complex motion graphic stuff and etc. I hope you're going to enjoy that, and I hope you're enjoying this live stream as well. Okay, so now this is our second animation. I'm going to close this one over here because we don't need that anymore. No, I hope you like this one as well. Let me know in the comments if you like this animation or not. Okay, now let's start with our second count 2 animation. If you see over here, what this animation is doing, that there is one line and this one text is going to break that line and it will create duplicate, and we will get this kind of wheel animation. So let's try to create step by step. First thing first, we need to create this line. Okay, so press Ctrl Y to create one solid background, and let's change this color to black and lock this layer. Okay, then I'm going to select my text tool. Then from here to here I'm going to create one line. I don't want any fill, so I'll delete this fill. And for the stroke width I'm going to choose white color, and stroke width let's choose 5 pixels. If you want, you can move this a little bit bigger. Select the shape layer and press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. Go to the align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically. Now, in our reference layer, I chose O, but you are free to choose any alphabet you want. I'm going to choose O over here because it is circular and it's easy to animate. So I'm going to type O. I'm going to choose white color and condensed version I'm going to use, and I'll increase the size of this. I'm going to make this fox bold as well. Okay, so let's increase this. Now let's select this and press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center just for now. Then go to the align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically. Now let's see this animation over here. First this O goes over here and then it goes over here. Okay, so now let's try to do it. First thing first, I want this O should come from downward. So press P for position. Let's bring this downwards, create one keyframe. Then it goes upward somewhere around at 1 second. I'm going to move this a little bit upward, press P, move this over here. Then somewhere around at over here, let's go to the start, and or you can go to the align tab and choose align vertically like that. Then I'm going to select those keyframe and I'm going to hit F9. Then I'll go to the graph editor. I'm going to select this graph. By holding shift, I'll move one handle over here and one handle over here, because initially speed should be faster. So that's why our graph is like this. Then as it goes up, again when it's going to fall, the speed should be low. So I'm going to adjust this graph like this. Okay, so if you check it out, this we will get something like that, but obviously it looks weird. So let's try to do it. Select this keyframes, and if you see over here, the this line is quite weird because there is some error in our animation. So to fix that, I can simply right click, go to the keyframe interpolation. Instead of spatial interpolation auto bezier, I'm going to choose linear and hit OK. And now if you check it out, this will get something like that. But this animation looks very slow. So by holding Alt, I'm going to bring this up to 1 second. Okay, so you'll get something like that. Now go to the start, select this, press R for rotation to create one keyframe, then hit U, go to around 1 second, and let's make this one complete rotation. Then if you check it out, this we'll get something like that. Okay, this looks good to me. Now after that, I'm going to select this O and I'm going to press Ctrl Shift D, or simply hit Ctrl D and hit U, and I'm going to select all of this and I'm going to delete those keyframe. I don't need those keyframe now. Now what we need to do over here, let's see. Now if you check it out, my reference animation over here, when this goes over here, all of them are forming in a circular way with this anchor point is properly at the center. But if you see our main animation that we did over here, the anchor point is at the center. So now if I rotate this over here, it's going to rotate it from the center. Okay, so now what we need to do, I want this one should be over here and the anchor point is at the this point. So how we are going to translate that? So first thing first, at this point I'm going to select this and let's move this over here with the help of open square bracket. and by holding shift I'm going to bring this over here like that. Then I'm going to press Y for 10 behind tool, and I'm going to bring this anchor point over here properly at the center. So now I can select this and I can easily rotate it like that. So first of all, let's make this rotation 0. Now after this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this and I'll create one keyframe at position, then somewhere around 2 seconds, or I'm going to create another keyframe. Then go to the start and let's bring this like that over here, like this. Okay, with the help of arrow keys you can adjust. Then select those position keyframes and let's hit F9. Then go to the graph editor, select this graph by holding shift, move this handle over here like that. So you'll get something like that. Then select this and press Ctrl Shift D to split this layer, and let's delete this layer. Okay, like that. So we will get something like that. Let's select this graph, go to the graph editor, select this, shift hold, move this handle over here again, like that. Okay, so if you check it out, this we will get something like that. Okay, as you guys can see, we will get something like this. Now go to the start, select this, press R for rotation to create one keyframe. Go over here and let's rotate it and create another keyframe. Don't create any keyframe over here, we'll do that later. And select those rotation keyframes and we are going to hit F9 to ease those keyframes like that. Okay, so if you see, we will get something like that. Now what we can do, I'm going to select this and I'll hit Ctrl D to duplicate it. I can press R for rotation and I can rotate it on 20 degree like that. Or instead of doing that, let's delete this one. Select this, select those rotation keyframes over here as well. Go to the graph editor and let's make this, hit Ctrl D to duplicate it. Select this second layer. Let's make this value 10 and select those rotation keyframe. Go to the graph, select this by holding shift, move this handle over here and move this handle over here. So if you check it out, this you will get something like that. Then I'm going to select this and select this first layer over here. Go to the effect and presets panel and search for drop shadow effect. And let's increase the softness of this drop shadow up to 100 and opacity up to 25. Then select this drop shadow, hit Ctrl C, select this second layer and hit Ctrl V over there. Then select both of these text layers, go to the character menu, go to the stroke and we are going to apply black color. Okay, like that. So this is going to be very good. Now all we need to do is let's hit U. We need to simply select this, hit U, and we will hit Ctrl D. And all we need to do is make this keyframe 20, and we need to add 10 units in each one. So if you see this, we will get this kind of stuff. So hit Ctrl D. Let's make this value 30. We need to hit Ctrl D. We need to make this value 40. So we are gonna get something like that. Then hit Ctrl D. Let's make this 50. Hit Ctrl D. Let's make this 60. Hit Ctrl D. Let's make this 70. Hit Ctrl D. Let's make this 80. Hit Ctrl D. Let's make this 90. As you guys can see, we will get this kind of stuff. Select this, hit Ctrl D. Let's make this 100. Hit Ctrl D. Let's make this 110. And now I'm going to maximize this, what we can say, this entire stuff. Hit Ctrl D. Let's make this 120. Again hit Ctrl D. 130. Again hit Ctrl D. 140. And I need to follow this procedure until I'm going to choose 360 degree. So let's do this. let's see how does it looks over here. If I check this out, you will get something like that. Let's see this animation. You will get something like this. Okay, let's do this procedure again. Let's make this 190, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 270. Let's see. Okay, now we are very close. 280, 290, 300, 310, 320, 330, 340, 350. Okay, so we are done. And now if I check it out this, as you guys can see, I'm gonna get something like that. Okay, so we'll get something like this. Now I'm going to select all of this and I'm going to press Ctrl Shift C to pre-compose, and I'm going to call it a circle like that, and hold Alt open square bracket to trim up to this. Okay, so first we will get this and then we will get this. Now let's make this quad resolution, otherwise it's gonna get very hanged. Then somewhere around at this point, I'm going to press P for position to create one keyframe, then S for scaling option to create another keyframe, then R for rotation to again create another keyframe, and hit U. Go to around 3 seconds and let's make this value 40, then press V and let's move this over here like that at this point. Then somewhere around at 5 seconds, I'm gonna go and move this totally out of this composition like that. Okay, then I'm going to select those keyframes. Let's go and make this one complete rotation. Then at this point, I'm going to make this -2. Okay, like that. So we'll get that rotation. So if you check it out this, we will get something like that, and we will get something like that. Okay, then let's move this. Let's select those keyframe and let's hit F9. Then go to the graph editor, select this graph by holding shift, move one handle over here, select this and move one handle over here. Then select those stuff by holding shift. I'm going to move this handle over here and move this handle over here. Okay, so now if you check it out this, you will get this and then you will get this. Okay, and again select those position properties, right click, keyframe assistance, instead of spatial interpolation auto visual, choose linear and hit OK. So we will get something like this. Okay, and let's select those keyframe and let's try to bring this up over here. Let's go over here and hit it. Okay, like that. Now we have this line over here. I'm going to hit Control D and let's hide this fourth one. Let's go to around 3 seconds, and with the help of open square bracket, I'm going to move this over here. And now what you can do is you can go to this point at the end and you can select this and you can make it apparent with this circle. So what will happen? Obviously it will rotate like that, so it's not a good idea to make it apparent. But what we can do is we can add trim path. So let's go to the add menu and choose trim path. Go to the trim path and let's make this end value, or let's make this start value 100 to create one keyframe. Go to the end and let's make this value 0 at this point like that. And just like this graph over here, if you see the graph is like this, we will select this and we will hit F9. And now we will go to the graph editor. I will select this graph, shift hold, adjust it over here by holding shift, adjust it like that and adjust it like that. Okay, so we will get something like this. Now at the start over here, if you see, there is this shape layer, and if you see our reference animation, which is this one, it's actually you know, breaking this. So for that, obviously, we are going to choose CC Pixel Poly. So let's select this layer and press Ctrl Shift C to pre-compose, and I'm going to call it as stroke and hit OK. And let's save this. Go to the Effect and Presets panel, and I'm going to search for CC Pixel Poly effect and double click to apply. And obviously, this will, try to break it down. Now I'm going to choose force center somewhere around over here, like that, and force I'm going to increase it totally, like that. So if we check it out, this will get something like that. Okay, like this. Also, let's choose grid spacing to somewhere around 50, like that. So we'll get something like that. And I want this enemy, this should break somewhere around at this point. So let's move this over here, or let's see at which point it's breaking. So let's move this over here. Before that, select this stroke layer, hit Ctrl D, select this fifth layer. Let's delete this CC Pixel Poly. Go to the start, and let's, with the help of open square bracket, move this over here. Go somewhere at this point, press Ctrl Shift D to split this layer and delete it. Delete this layer. Okay, like that. Then select this and let's increase the force to 500. Okay, so we'll get more kind of sparkles. Or you can select this, hit Ctrl D, and you can change the force to 200, so you get some more. Also, grid spacing you can choose 25. Okay, like that over here, and you are gonna get this animation continuously in the form of loop like this. Okay, so this is how you can create this kind of second animation as well. Okay, also let me know in the comment section whether you like this animation or not. Also, if you like this, don't forget to hit that like button. Okay, it will boost this live stream and it would be helpful for me. Okay, so now we are going to start with our fourth animation. Let's try to do it. Okay, let's hit Control N to create another composition, or not. Why am I creating another composition? I have already created one. So let's go and try to animate this third one. Now, obviously, it's not possible to create entirely like this, but I'll try my best to do it, because all of these animations are experimental animations. Okay, I don't even remember what was I doing back then when I was doing this. Okay, so let's try to recreate this. Let's hide this. First thing first, we need to add our text. So for the text, I'm going to choose my text, and let's try this text motion, and let's choose black color for it. Let's select this and press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. I'll go to the Align tab, align it horizontally, then I'll align it vertically. Then I'm going to press S for scaling option, like that. Select this and let's go to the character and change the color of this one to red. Then I'm going to select this and I'll hit Ctrl D to duplicate it and change the color of this to black. And let's remove this ocean and only keep this M, and press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. Then hit Ctrl D, press V, move this over here and change this text to O. Select this O and try to adjust it over here like that, and press Ctrl Alt Home. Hit Ctrl D. Let's move this over here and change this text to T. Let's select this and let's move this over here. Hit Ctrl D. Let's move this and let's call it as I. Not small I, but capital I. And let's try to adjust this text over here. Again, hit Ctrl D. Let's move this and let's try to make this text O. And let's move this over here. Again, hit Ctrl D and let's make this text N. Okay, like that. And let's bring this over here. Okay, let's make this fit. And I'm going to delete that extra layer of text. Now let's save this file. Now if you see our previous animation over here, we need to create this kind of strokes that which are going to cover this entire stuff. So first we'll try to create for this M. So I'm going to select my not text tool but pen tool. Then let's try to create it from here. Let's lock this layer first and let's choose a red color for the stroke. Then we will try to create one from here. Then by holding shift, move this over here, then move this over here, then move this over here, and then move this over here. By holding shift, I'm going to do that. Let's select this, and with the help of arrow keys you can adjust this, and let's select this much portion and let's move this over here. Let's select this and let's move this over here like that. Now let's select this and try to increase the stroke of this portion until it's going to cover that text entirely. Okay, so let's adjust it like that. Then I'm going to select this, press G, and let's try to move this. You can select the selection tool. You can select this much area and let's try to move this over here. Select this and let's try to adjust this portion over here like that. Then I'm going to select this much portion and try to bring this downwards. Then select this and let's try to bring this over here. Sorry, yes. Downwards. Okay. Now if you want, if it's working properly, you can go to the add menu and you can choose round corners as well. So you will get this kind of round corners. Okay. So but over here, as you guys can see, it's revealing. So press G, select this portion and try to bring this downwards. Select your selection tool again, select this much area, and with the help of arrow keys try to bring this down, and you can reduce the stroke over here or adjust the stroke like that. Okay, over here and hit U. Now over here, another thing we can do, I'm going to, let's do one thing. Let's select our rounded rectangle and I'm going to create this kind of rectangle over here, and let's reduce the stroke size like that. Let's make this value 30. Select this and press Ctrl Alt O and go to the align tab. Align it horizontally, align it vertically, press V, and let's try to bring this over here. Then go to the rectangle path and unlink this size, and let's try to move this over here like that up to this, and also increase the stroke width like that. Also increase the roundness, also increase the size from here like that. Okay, then another thing I want over here is that I think this thing is very big, so let's reduce the stroke width somewhere up to this. Okay, it's okay if small portion is revealing, or you can select this much portion. You can select your selection tool and select, press G, select this and this, or you can select your selection tool. You can select this much portion and try to move this over here a little bit. Also select this, try to move this over here like that. Okay, and then increase the stroke width a little bit. Okay, this much looks good. Then I'm going to select my pen tool again, press G, then from here to here I'm going to create one stroke line like that. Also don't forget that you should choose stroke 30 because the stroke of this one is 36, so I think we should choose this one as well to 36. So let's make this 36. Select this and press Ctrl Alt O, zoom in a little bit, and with the help of arrow keys try to adjust it over here. Then select this, hit Ctrl D to duplicate it, press V, and let's try to adjust it over here like that. Okay, and press G, and let's try to bring this over here. Then select this, let's try to bring this over here. Okay, with the help of arrow keys you can adjust it like that. Okay, so these are gonna for O. And let's select both of this, and I mean all three of this, and press Ctrl Alt Home to their respective anchor points and hit Ctrl D. Let's bring them at the top, press V, and let's try to bring this over here. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to suggest that we are going to use same for this one, but I think we need to use this after we apply trim path. So let's delete this, we will try to use it after that. Now let's select your pen tool, then from here to here create one stroke and press Ctrl Alt O. Over select this and press Ctrl Alt O. Go to the Align tab and choose Align horizontally. Select this and let's try to bring this over here. Then move this, hit Ctrl D, press R for rotation, rotate it on 90 degree, press P for position, and let's try to bring this over here. Then hit Ctrl D, press P, and let's try to bring this over here like that. Okay, and hit U and let's minimize it. Then select your pen tool, zoom in a little bit. Then from let's enable this layer only so we can focus on this one. Then from here to here by holding shift, create one stroke, then up to this, then up to this. Okay, and hold shift when we are doing this. Then select your selection tool, select this portion, and let's try to bring this over here. And now I'm going to select this topmost point. I'll bring this over here, select this point, and let's bring this over here. Select this portion, and let's move this over here. Then select this one, and let's move this over here. Select this portion and let's bring this down like that. Then go inside this, add and round corners like that. Okay, so now all of this is ready. Let's disable this. Now all we need to do is to animate them. So let's select this M first over here. Sorry guys. Now go to the add menu and we are going to choose trim path. Then go to the trim path and let's make this end value 0 and create one keyframe. In search option, select cap and choose this line cap to round cap and hit U and zoom in a little bit. Let's go inside this trim path, create one keyframe at end and one keyframe at start. Go to around 1 second. Let's make both of these values 100. Select this start keyframe and bring them a little bit over here. Select those keyframe and we are going to hit F9. Okay, so if you check it out, this we will get this kind of animation. Okay, now I'm going to select this trim path and I'll hit Ctrl C to copy. Now let's focus on this and this O. Let's enable this icon. Now I'm going to select this one first, which is this one, and hit Ctrl V and hit U. And as you guys can see, we are getting this in a weird way. So let's do one thing. First of all, select all those three and go to the search option and search for cap. And let's choose round cap for all of them like that and hit U to minimize them. Okay. Now let's select this topmost one, which is this one. Let's bring this at the top, then this O over here, and then this one. Let's select the someone which is at the top. Go to the add menu and we are going to choose trim path. Go to the trim path and let's make this start value 100. Create one keyframe. Go to around 10 seconds and let's make this value 0 over here. Then we will go to the second layer, which is this O. We'll go to the add menu and we are going to choose trim path, and with the help of open square bracket I'm going to move this over here. Go to the trim path and end value we need to bring this over here. So let's bring this offset somewhere around at this point because this portion is touching over here. So let's try to adjust this offset somewhere around at this point, and let's make this end value 0 at this point. Create one keyframe at end, hit U, and then go somewhere around 2 seconds. Let's make this value 100 like that. Then go to the start over here like this, somewhere around at this point over here. I'll go over here, then I'm gonna go somewhere around at the start. I'll create one keyframe. At this point I'm going to create another keyframe. Now select those keyframe and I'm going to hit F9 over there. Okay, like that. So let's make this fit. Hit U, you'll get something like that. Let's hit U and select these two keyframes and hit U. Select those keyframe and let's hit F9. Hit U. Okay, like that. But this animation looks very slow. So let's select those keyframes and by holding Alt, let's reduce this up to this. Okay, like that. And then I'm going to select this one. Let's go inside this trim path, create one keyframe at end, go few frame forward somewhere around over here, and let's make this value 0. Select those keyframe and let's hit F9. Okay, like that. Okay, let's bring this keyframe a little bit over here. Okay, then somewhere around at this point over here, I'm going to select this shape layer, go to the add menu, and we are going to choose trim path. Go over here, go to the trim path, and let's make this value end value 100. Create one keyframe, go few frame forward, let's make this value 100. Select those keyframe and hit F9. Okay, then go somewhere around over here, create one keyframe at the start end, go over here and let's make this value 100. Select those keyframe and let's hit F9 and hit U. So now if you check it out, this we will get something like that. Okay, it looks weird, but it's easy to cover our text. So let's keep it as it is. Let's disable this. I'm going to select this and I'll hit Ctrl T and I'm going to bring them at the top, and I'm going to bring them over here at the top somewhere around this point, and press P for position and try to bring this at the position of this O over here. Okay, so for this one is ready. Now we will select this one portion over here at the start. We will go to the contents, we will copy this trim path and we will hit Ctrl C to copy. Select this layers, which is this one and this one. Select all of these three and hit Ctrl V to paste it. So we'll get that animation over there. Similarly, select this one which is at the top and hit Ctrl V. So we'll get that animation over there as well. And select all of this row. Go to the search option and search for cap. And those who are butt cap, choose round cap for all of them. Okay, like that. Now hit U, and now if you see, we are gonna get something like that. Now all I want is to distance between them should be 10 frames. So let's select this, or you can choose 20 frame as well. Let's choose 20 frame. I'm going to bring this over here, then take a gap of 20 frames, select this and this T, select this both and move them over here. Take a gap of 20 frame, select this one which is over here, it should be over here. Then take a gap of 20 frame, select this three layers basically, move them over here. Again take a gap of 10 frames and let's move this and over here like that. So if you check it out, this we will get something like that. Now it's time to reveal our text. So at this point I want my M should get revealed. So with the help of O with one square bracket, I'm going to bring this M over here. Then go somewhere around at this O, which is completing the rotation at this point. Let's select this O and move this over here. Go few frame forward, let's select this T and move this over here. Go few frame forward, select this I, move this over here. Then somewhere around at this point, I'm going to select this O and move this over here. Go at this point, select this N and move this over here. select all of the topmost layers and change the color of the stroke to black. And now select all of them and press F4 and enable their motion blur. So now if you check it out this, we will get this kind of read. Sorry, let's save this file. Sorry for this error. You will get something like this. Now over here, as you guys can see, we are getting this error. The reason is because we have added the round cap. That's why. So what you can do, select those layers, hit U, and when their animation is gonna end, for example, over here at this point in this circle, animation is ending at here. Hold Alt close square bracket to end that animation over there. Similarly, select this, go over here, hold Alt close square bracket. Similarly, at this point, hold Alt close square bracket to trim that animation. Okay. Similarly, same goes for this M as well. Okay. Let's select this, hit U. At this point, this animation is ending. So hold Alt close square bracket to trim up to this. Similarly, select all of this and hit U. All you need to do is whenever that animation is ending, you all need to do is select those, hold Alt close square bracket to trim up to this. Then go over here at this point, Alt close square bracket to trim up to this. Then same for all of them. Go to the last frame, Alt close square bracket, go to the last, Alt close square bracket, go to the last, press V, Alt close square bracket. Similarly, at this point, hold Alt close square bracket. So now, if you check it out, this portion, you will get this kind of animation over here. Now, what we need to do, simply select all of these layers and press Ctrl Shift C to pre-compose, and let's call it as stroke. Then I'm going to select this and I'll hit Ctrl D to duplicate it. Right click, reveal layer in source project. Select this stroke and I'll hit Ctrl D, and by holding Alt, I'm going to replace it. Go inside this, select all of them. In stroke portion, I'm going to choose 5 pixel stroke. Then go to the comp3 and try to bring this up to 1 second. So what will happen? You will get that extra animation layer, or you can bring this at the start and you can select this main stroke a little bit later. Okay, so first thing which we are going to see over here is this one. So let's try to do it. Select this stroke and all of these text layers and try to bring them a little bit forward. So first thing we will get this is this lines. Then I'm going to select this stroke lines. I'll hit Ctrl D. I'm going to bring them over here. And this time I'm going to go in my effect and presets panel and I'm going to search for fill effect and double click to apply. And I'm going to choose white color over there like that. Okay, like this. So we will get something like that. Okay, so as you guys can see, we have created this kind of text reveal. Now you can select all of these layers and press Ctrl Shift C and we will call it as text reveal. And you can go to the effect and presets panel and search for tint effect and double click to apply, and you can swap these colors, and instead of black you can choose this red color as well. Okay, so now if you check it out, this animation, we will get something like that. Okay, and let's save this file. Okay, so as you guys can see how we have created this kind of stuff, and now the last animation we are going to do. Okay, so before we do that, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel, and also join our Motion Pro membership, which is my support. Okay, so if you're watching this live stream till now, then thank you so much, and I appreciate your dedication, because staying for a while like this is quite boring, to be really honest. But I'm glad that you are still watching this. It means a lot to me. So now let's hit Control 0 and let's try to do our last animation for today's live stream. Let's select this comp 4 and this is going to be the last one. Okay, let's save this file. Okay, so let's check it out first. What is this animation? Basically, it's kind of a CC split effect. If you guys already know that, you know this animation is actually very easy. It's not at that much difficult. So let's hide this. Press Ctrl Y to create one background, and I'm going to choose white color background and hit OK. Then I'm going to select my text tool and I'm going to type my text zipper. Let's select this text and press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. Go to the Align tab, align it horizontally and align it vertically. And I'm going to choose this font over here. You're free to choose whatever font you want. I'm going to press Ctrl Alt Home, press S. Let's scale this size and character. Let's choose Fox Italic. Okay, and press Ctrl Alt Home. Then I'm going to hit Ctrl D to duplicate, press V, and let's try to bring this upward like that. Okay, and now let's go and change the color of this one to black color stroke and stroke weight to 1 pixels. Okay, let's make not 1 pixels, let's make this 2 pixels only. Okay, then select this, hit Ctrl D again, press V, and let's try to bring this over here like that. Okay, and now what we can do over here is that I'm going to select all of them and I'm going to press Ctrl Shift C to pre-compose, and I'm going to call it as animation and hit OK. Then go inside this, and if you see the reference over here, we have created this kind of chain like structure over here. So let's try to do it over here as well. Okay, if you see over here, this is in white color. Now because our text is in black, then we are going to choose stroke, which is going to be in a black color, and stroke width, let's try to choose 50 pixels. Then by holding shift from here to here, let's create one stroke. Select this and press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. Go to the Align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically. Let's increase the stroke width to 80. Okay, then I'm going to select my pen tool, and for the stroke width, I'm going not stroke width but stroke color, choose white, and stroke width choose 20. Then let's hide all of this other stuff. Then zoom in. Then from here to here, I'm going to create one line. Then select this and press Ctrl Alt Home. Let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, then go to the add menu and we are going to choose repeater, not round corners but repeater. You already know what repeater does. From name itself, it will repeat your geometry. So let's go to the repeater, transform repeater 1. Let's change this to somewhere around like this. Go to the align tab and we are going to choose align left, and let's increase the number of copies. Then select this and hit Ctrl D to duplicate it. Press P for position, and let's try to bring this downwards like that. And with the help of arrow keys, I'm going to adjust it over here. Then select both of them and try to adjust it properly at the center and hit U. Now let's enable all of this. So basically we have this kind of stuff. Now we will get something like that. Okay, now if you see over here, this is quite not visible, but that's okay. There's not much because this text is visible. Okay, let's go over here. Let's hide this one. We don't need that. We'll try to focus on this one. Now I'm gonna go in my effect and presets panel, and I'm going to search for CC split effect and double click to apply. Now if I increase the split value, I'm gonna get something like that. Now if you select this, we will get this point A and then this point B. Now first thing, we need to animate point B. So position of point A, I'm going to choose 960, which is automatically at the center. Also position B should be 960. Let's create point B, hit U, zoom in, let's go to around 1.20 frames, and I'm going to move this over here like that totally. Okay, also split, let's increase the scale. Then let's bring this over here. Then I'm going to create one keyframe at point A, hit U, go somewhere around over here, and I'm going to move this point A from this to this until unless it's gonna get completely gone like that. So if you check it out this now, select those keyframe and let's hit F9. Then go to the graph editor, select this graph by holding shift, move one handle over here and move one handle over here like that. Okay, so we will get something like that. So first we will get something like this and then we will get something like that. Now by holding Alt, I'm going to bring this, all of this up to 3 seconds. Okay, now I'm going to select this animation and I'll hit Control D. I'll go to around 2 seconds. I'm going to select this second layer and with the help of open square bracket, I'm going to bring this over here. Then I'll go to 4 seconds. I'm going to select this layer. I'll hit Control D. I'll select this and with the help of open square bracket, I'm going to move this over here. Then I'm going to go somewhere around 6 seconds. I'm going to select this third layer. I'll hit Control D. Then select this fourth layer with the help of open square bracket, move this over here. Now let's go to 2 seconds and I'm going to hit I to go at over here and press V over here. So my animation is gonna start from this end. Then I'll go to the sixth layer. I'll press I and I'm going to hit N over here. So now if you check it out, this animation, you will get something like that. But one thing over here which I did wrong is that there is no animation at the start. So to fix that, what we can do, I'll go to around 4 seconds, I'll hit U, I'm going to bring this layer up to this one and I'm going to select those keyframes and I'm going to try to move them up to 4. Same thing, I'm gonna go somewhere around 6 seconds. Let's select this and try to bring this over here. Select those keyframe and try to bring them over here like that. Okay, let's go to the start. We will get this, then we will get this. Okay, like that. Now how we can do that, let's do one thing. I think I have created this extra layer, we don't need that. Hit U, sorry, not extra, but this should be over here. Now let's select this second layer, go to the effect and presets panel and search for tint effect, double click and I'm going to swap this color like that. Okay, over here. Then I'm going to select this fourth layer, I'll apply tint effect and I'll swap this color. Okay, like that. And as you guys can see, this animation is continuously in the form of loop. Okay, like that. Okay, now in addition, if you want, you can select this topmost layer. You can go to the effect and presets panel and search for drop shadow effect, and you can double click to apply and increase the drop shadows. Make this to 25. Select this, hit Ctrl C to copy, select all of those layers and hit Ctrl V to paste it. Okay, like that. So we will get this kind of animation like that. Okay, so as in today's live stream, we have created this 4 animation. Let's quickly see what we have created in comp 1 over here, which is this one. At the start of the stream, we have created this animation. And if you see, this animation is also in the form of loop. Then for the second one, we have created this animation, which is also in the form of loop like that. Then in the third one, we have created this text animation over here. This is not a loop animation, but text reveal animation, which is quite very smooth. If you see this animation, I really like this animation actually, even more than this previous one. If you see as this animation, I like this one which we have created because it's quite smooth animation actually. Then we have created this fourth one, which is zipper kind of animation. Okay, so yeah, that's it for today's live stream. And again, sorry for the yesterday's live stream. I was planning to do this yesterday, but because of my keyboard issues, I have deleted that live stream. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this live stream. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. And if you really enjoyed this, then don't forget to subscribe my channel and also hit down that share, like, share, and subscribe. And you can join my Motion Pro membership as well. And yeah, that's it. Practice this tutorials and let me know whether you like it or not in the comment sections. So thank you for watching.